suppressing silencers of the state, or poorly disguised off-world intimidators. Also on occasion accompanied by their sinister counterparts, the Black-Eyed Children. Let's get this over with. Ray Casper, what is your opinion on the Men in Black?
How the hell should I know, Andreas? Sounds like some kind of weird club in West Hollywood to me.
Could you just be serious for this once, please?
Fine. Men in Black are full government agents conspiring to staunch civilian information in relation to off-world intellects. Quite possibly alien inquisitors or collaborators posing as retro humanoids. A legitimate threat to disclosure.
Well, Ray, that's brilliant. That's cogent, comprehensive. I never thought you had even a slight interest in the show. Go figure.
I don't give a camel's ass about your little show, Andreas. I know back home in Askrakistan, you were some kind of big shot, some kind of big man on campus, but not here on the Ray Casper Show, starring Ray Casper. Hello, I'm Ray Casper. Hey, do you think Monique would like to butter a stump?
Like, gross me out the door.
1997. Where were you? Where were you? Where were we? I remember where I was specifically. I don't know if it was the summer, but I was forced into going and seeing the Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, Men in Black movie. Unbelievable. And being a fan of the paranormal and a student of ufology, not a very good student at that, I was very disappointed with that movie. I thought it was far too silly, too whimsical. I knew it would be, but I thought, maybe there's hope. But I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. I even went to go see it as a matinee, so I would have to pay the full price, right? Because I knew I was going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
And so, because this is such a serious subject with dire consequences for some people, and it was like making fun of it, and I did not like that. I had a problem with it. So, what says you? I know you feel differently.
Men in Black was fun. Let me just tell you both. Will Smith, he made that look good. That was just all there was to it. Tommy Lee Jones, he was fun. Come on. And Rip Torn, that dude, you can't really fuck up with Rip Torn.
No, Rip Torn, I remember he was on you ever see the Larry Sanders Show?
Yep.
Yeah, he was actually a really good character. That was a great show. Believe it or not, I hate to go off base here, but Ricky Gervais stole so much inspiration from the Larry Sanders Show. Believe it or not, unbelievable. And he said he was actually a great fan of Gary Shandling, and so was I. I thought, and he's dead. I know he's dead, but anyways,
sad.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Yeah.
Or they,
Sorry, Natasha's not here. I thought I'd replace her grimness.
Her darkness.
Her darkness.
All right.
Everybody dies. Everybody hurts.
So yeah, you really loved it. You really loved it.
Oh, I did. We're talking about Will Smith's journey from being an NYPD cop, knock your punk ass down, to becoming part of like the premier defense force and also immigration force, it turns out, for extraterrestrial life in the universe. How is that not fun?
So interesting. It actually is. So they definitely took a campy.
But they're supposed to be aliens.
Illegal aliens.
That word, get it? Yeah. Double entendre. Is that what you say?
Yeah, double entendre.
Yeah. Well, I was just a little baby. Actually, I was a baby in 1997, but I did end up seeing Men in Black many years later, and I liked it. Granted, I saw it when I was probably like 13 years old, so the comedy of it and everything, the blowing up and the ugly alien faces, what I mean? That was really fun back then. I had a crush on Will Smith.
Who didn't?
At the time, before he went all,
what comes out lately?
Jada Pinkett Smith's little bleep B-word, to be honest.
Yeah.
Before that, I kind of had a crush on him, so I have this like soft spot in my heart for it, and I did think it was fun. I did like the way they did it, but is it a serious documentary on aliens? Not everything is Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, Simon Says for Aliens. Boop,
To be
boop, boop.
frank, I like that movie also. I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but I have to say, it took a long time for anything interesting to happen. I'm just telling
Took a
you.
minute.
It did. I was just, wow, we're going to keep making piles of dirt in our home or whatever. Like a dung beetle,
Come on.
you know?
I don't remember the movie.
Exactly. You don't remember the movie. All I remember is the lights.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
I
Simon
remember the
Says.
end, and I was glad it was done, but then it was, yeah.
Well, does anyone remember how Men in Black ended? It's too late for spoiler alert, so just cry about it.
Yeah.
Men in Black ended more or less on the note.
Trilogy, though, right?
It is.
Okay.
But the first one ended more or less on the note that Will Smith's character had to flash away Tommy Lee's character. I can't remember their names actually, but flash away his memories so he could go live a normal life as a mailman with his good wife, you know, before he had ever joined the MIB. You know, watch the rest of them if you want, but you don't even fucking cry at me about spoilers right now. That's so old. Don't do it.
All right. And so this is really interesting because a little bit later, we will be introducing Blake Grimmhauser's Movie Moments. And the voted segment where our esteemed filmologist, Blake Grimmhauser, can carry on about his favorite alien films of all time and his top 5, I think, maybe, or more. Perhaps.
Easily 5.
Easily 5, yes. And I have a few of my own, but it's your segment, so I don't want to sniff around on it now. We can get into that right now before we get into the actual Men in Black stuff, or you want to...
Certainly.
All right.
So surprisingly, Men in Black is not the top 5. Let me tell you about the top 5. Aliens. Now we're gonna skip a little bit because the rest of the aliens were good, but not top 5 material. Independence Day. Oh my god.
Oh,
Just Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith? You can't beat that.
Lock me in a room.
Yes.
Lock me in a room. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't know where that came from.
Ebony and Ivory, people.
Oh, that really took it far.
No, not far enough.
well, I can give mine a little quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
probably say one of the best alien movies of all time, Alien, the first 1979 Alien. And not
Sigourney.
even the theatrical version, the director's cut. Aliens is somewhere in the top 10.
Epic.
Yeah, I actually would say that I thought from a more cerebral, and these aren't in any specific order except for Aliens is number 1, but Arrival, I thought that was a really, really
one.
brilliant
Gotta rewatch
movie.
it. I really have
And
to.
I've watched
weird.
it so many times.
get me out of it.
It's a very slow burn, but it's a brilliant film, and it is so original on the simple fact that what you have is the creatures themselves. They don't represent anything, and I believe in our psyche that we would think off-world intellect would look like, or mostly communicate.
Or how they jump. What the hell?
It's such a brilliant movie. I wasn't a huge fan of the way it ended, but yeah.
Yeah, I have 2.
Okay.
I know this is Blake's movie moment, Grimmhauser's. But I'm gonna say, I have 2 that I really, really like. War of the World, of course Alien, but like they both said that. War of the World, Tom Cruise. That movie really, really terrified me. What I loved about that movie very specifically is the idea of how actually terrifying and messy and devastating it would be if we were actually just up front facing an alien invasion. Not that they're living amongst us quietly. They're not our friends. We're all screwed. That movie really got to me. I love it every time I watch it. Signs.
Oh my god.
I totally forgot about Signs.
Signs.
Brilliant.
10.
Tinfoil hats for everybody.
Brilliant.
It has some amoebas in it.
You
That
know,
saved the life.
I love Mel
Watch
Gibson
it.
for that movie.
So good.
Yes, exactly.
And Joaquin Phoenix. Oh my god.
Yeah, and actually, I think
It's an M. Night
what's his name?
Shyamalan film.
Yeah.
And he's got some
That's
pretty
his
cool
best
stuff.
film,
Yeah, he does.
right before.
What, Lady in the Water?
No,
The Village?
The Village. Yeah.
The Village is good. If you don't know the end. You need to watch it with fresh eyes. Do not look anything into it. It's very, very cool.
But let's bring it back around to the aliens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, they live. I came to kick ass and drink milk, and I ran all out of milk.
That's a good line.
Aliens living all among us, and we didn't realize it. We didn't know. We were taught to, consume, obey. It's all about capitalism, and it was aliens' fault. If you guys have never seen that, I recommend it highly. They Live is excellent.
I have no idea.
It is a good one.
I'm intrigued.
Now let me give you the last of the top 5. An older one from I think the 80s. That's right, Enemy Mine. Enemy Mine.
Yes.
You know that one?
Randy Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr.
Yes, so Enemy Mine is about an alien and a man who at first are enemies, but end up falling in love and making a baby. There's more to it than that. There's more to it, but I'm simplifying this. But that is what happens, bro.
Well, I know that he's pregnant, but I don't think this. But I don't think it's
pregnant.
It's hard to.
But I don't think it's from any.
Is this 2024?
Is there a baby?
Yes, a baby is produced, but I don't think it's from any intercourse of any sort.
No tomfuckery? No?
But I don't believe if I remember well, I don't think that's how that happened.
Homeboy fucked a Martian once. Where's that from? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. But Enemy Mine's great. It really is. That's a brilliant movie. I remember, Louis Gossett.
It made you think, right?
It made me think he was pregnant, and I remember the Randy Quaid character said, "What do you mean you're pregnant?"
It's different. It's very different.
But there's none of that wokery in that at all.
If a man, I know, I get it. I'm just joking. If a man is pregnant, I just feel like it shouldn't be called pregnant. It should be called something else. It sounds too weird.
Well, they called it Junior, if you remember Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie. But let's just veer away from that for a little bit. Let's just kind of get away from that. So that's my top 5 is personally, and I've heard your guys' top 2.
Yes. So I would probably, if I'm going through the memory banks, believe it or not, at least the first, I would say, hour and 20 minutes, and then the last 20 minutes of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah, because just the whole build up and the whole mystery. All right.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me give you an honorable mention right now. Okay. Mars Attacks.
Never saw that.
Based on the comic, but Pierce Brosnan was in it. No, who else was it? Ving Rhames was in it. There's a lot of other big names. You're gonna have to throw them at me, people. But that movie was about aliens who. Jack Black was in it. Oh my god.
Pierce Brosnan was in that? Because I never.
He was in it.
Okay.
To see it.
Mars Attacks was based on a comic book, but it is a dirty, raunchy. I want to believe it was Tim Burton who directed it. I can't be sure, but it was essentially an alien encounter gone wrong because the aliens don't like us and they want to hurt us, but we tried to be cool with it anyway. Dumb. This is one of the times where I'm like, okay, let's jump on the fight train and kill these guys, but nobody's listening.
That is so funny because I have had this theory since I was relatively young, and when the aliens do come on, they are coming, and that is a fact. And there are species, I believe, that will come with relatively decent intentions. But I believe the majority of them are coming, and the ones that are already here with bad intentions.
Yeah.
And when we say bad, or when I say bad, good and bad, is that a human? So that's just a human concept,
Yeah.
Who knows what good and bad is on the other side of the
they could
universe.
be thinking that cleaning us up, human beings that take the resources of the earth, and it's just a fact that we do naturally harm the planet. It's just it's part of existence, and we deserve to a certain extent.
But a lot of them are probably here because they harm their own planets.
But if an alien is coming to the Earth, I would only assume it was for some sort of resource.
Fair.
Considering that Earth is, as far as they've admitted to us, the only planet with water and sustainable life. air,
It's not the only one with
oxygen.
water, that's for sure.
Well, I just mean all of these elements that make it so certain particular delicate life forms can live on it. I think that makes the Earth valuable. So if they're trying to extract something, then they want the purest form, and perhaps to them, goodness is the greater good for their people, for their beings, which would be to take what they need to. Doesn't matter if they wipe us all out, because we would do the same to them if we had to, right?
Well, if we had to.
That's
If
fair.
we had
If
to,
we
and
had to.
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If we had to, and if we could, we would.
So the aliens
That's how
that
human nature,
now I
alone
believe from my
I mean, I guess we're all gonna fight for what
the
we
inner
want.
depth of my being, aliens
is
live
universe.
already inside the depths of this planet. In the inners of this planet, they live underneath the oceans. They
Yeah.
probably have for hundreds of thousands of
Are we going to
years.
ignore that the government is now acknowledging that?
Well, they're not acknowledging it.
They're
Acknowledging
not
it.
not. They're
will-
having ufologists and studied people swearing under oath, you know.
Well, you have your David
And they're just
Grushes, and you
letting-
have your Lou Elizondos, and which I think
Something's
are
coming.
both. I think they're both very, very reputable. Not even go back to the great Bob Lazar, which I believe 100%. The aliens are not only are they amongst us, they are in our oceans. They are underneath the crust of the earth, or in the inners of the crust of the earth. And when they do come, and they are coming, or more are coming, your biggest adversary is not going to be them. You will never see one of these aliens. What you will see is your neighbors, your friends, anyone who lives on the same block as you, unless you're, lucky enough to live in a very rural area. They're going to want everything you have. So my advice is kill your neighbors. Just joking.
Forget the bubblegum, just kick ass.
Yeah, because as soon as they find out you have a generator, as soon as they find out you have food reserves, that is exactly what's going to happen. And even if the aliens turn out to be the nice, friendly Peace Corps types, the chaos that will ensue when that happens.
You can't trust ET, bro. Ouch.
Exactly.
Ouch is right.
So, 1952, Albert K. Bender, retiree of the U.S. Air Force, and one of, they say, the masters of the ufology genre. What do you know about our dear friend Albert Bender?
I know he sips cappuccino for a living.
There we are.
I know that he is a nut. He is a nut. 1952, right? This guy, very into ufology, but not just that. He owned a timekeeping shop, clocks, stuff like that. And he lived, I believe it's in the attic of that shop. If it's not somebody's house whatever. He lived in an attic, okay? And in his attic, they called it, I think it was like Shop of Horrors or House of Horrors, something like that, because he collected
My
shrunken...
ex-wife's place.
Yeah, he collected shrunken heads. He had them all around his house. He was known for playing record players or turntables, whatever they were called back then, of...
Do these have a sexual context?
Maybe. Of sobbing noises, crying, sobbing, and like thunder and lightning. And he was very weird. He was a weird fellow. And he, getting really, really into the ufology stuff, trying to uncover a recently spotted UFO, right, was allegedly visited by 3 men.
The Men in Black, yes.
Right, 3 men in black suits, with the what is it called, Hamburg hat style.
Well, Derby hats, if you want, or yeah.
And, they were very serious, and they said basically stop, and don't publish anything about what you've seen.
Well, he was the founder of the International Flying Saucer Bureau, really original.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a story he reported actually about how he was in a movie theater and he would like to go to the movies by himself. Creepy. And he was in a movie theater and there were these men with glowing eyes that would glare at him every single time. Not just with eyes, but glowing eyes. And Albert K. Bender, going primarily to movies in the middle of the night by himself, only surrounded by other men. There's his name was Bender, by the way. That's for our British audience. But anyway, so the thing about Bender was that he was told to discontinue saucer work because he had been visited by the Men in Black.
Like a DJ.
Yeah, exactly. So it's how he didn't end up double plus dead is an even greater mystery. He lived to a ripe old age. I forgot how old he was, but I think he died in like 2016 or something.
He did what he was told, bro. That's it.
Okay, but it's a really funny thing with this chap. Yeah, we don't quite know. So
Well, why are we talking about him when the first ever Men in Black encounter that's been recorded was actually in 1947 in the state of Washington in the city of Tacoma? There was a man named Harold Dahl who was going out to the Puget Sound with I think it was his sons or whatnot, to retrieve logs. I don't know what for. Bender, retrieving logs. I don't know how that's connected, but it is actually, I think, important to the story.
Yes.
Anyway, so he was, he suddenly saw, I think it was 6 flying discs over the water. And one of the discs was allegedly malfunctioning. And it was spilling out some sort of molten material that actually leaked onto their boat, which allegedly burnt their boat up, but actually did burn their poor dog to such a high degree that the poor dog passed away.
Oh no.
And it did actually singe one of his son's arms.
it's funny how we care about the animals, but fuck the humans.
I don't give his son. I don't care.
And anyway, he went out and he was talking about the story a lot. He was like setting up interviews. He was a, serious believer. And he was allegedly visited by one singular man in black. One singular, which is different than the 3 Men in Black that you'll hear in stories following this, right? So he was visited by one man who took him to a diner.
Like in Men in Black?
And basically... What? And basically told him, don't talk about this.
Was it Mexican fusion?
Yeah. Olay, I think.
Different kind of diner.
Anyway, and then he was told basically, do not talk about it. And there was a lot of interesting things that happened surrounding this story. But what ended up happening is he came out and said it was a hoax. And now, after that incident, around, I think it was still Puget Sound, Puget Sound, there were still discs being spotted, allegedly, by bystanders. I think at one point there was 9 discs at a time. And so even though he may have said it was a hoax, my microphone. We're having now a careless whisper into Blake's microphone. Mine cut out, if you didn't notice. I don't know where it cut out, but we're gonna just pick up.
This show is replete with technical difficulties.
Guilty feeling, got no
Some
rhythm.
may say it's the Men in Black interfering with our video to stop us from proving things. But anyway.
But it's also another theory. It's our cheap asses that didn't prepare properly. But
I'm gonna say it was the Men in Black.
I agree. And anyway, long story short, basically, even though he came out and said it was a hoax, a lot of people believe that he only said that to protect himself from the Man in Black that visited him and warned him off.
So
what do you two think?
The question is, who are the Men in Black? Are they alien-human hybrids? Are they, slit-lipped weirdos that wear lipstick to try to disguise their features? Are they some sort of humanoid? Are they government agents? Are they? It's funny because Ray Casper, of all people, in the intro, he actually
That motherfucker.
He actually produced the most cogent theory that I have ever heard from that.
Yeah, what was that?
What they were. You'll have to hear it when it goes out. Yeah, because
I can't wait. Were they pumpkins? What was it?
No, that wasn't. But no, he didn't get into that. But he gets into that later.
Maybe pumpkin pie.
But it's really
Pumpkin pro.
Even the funniest thing is Dan Aykroyd. We know Dan Aykroyd from SNL fame when it was funny, and he actually had a show that was going to come out, I believe, in the earlier mid 2000s, and he said
Schenkel.
it was not even in pre-production. They had filmed already, and he came out and said that he had these visitations from these unseemly gentlemen, and they decided not to go forward with the show after it had already been filmed. Yeah.
This is why you make Coneheads?
Perhaps, but some inspiration there. But the funniest thing is that this is I remember seeing, they might have released them like an Unsolved Mysteries or something, or one of those shows,
Okay.
2000s sort of shows on how some of the scenes were going to be from. It looked pretty interesting, you know.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd, he'll throw in a couple little cuties, some funnies, and everything. But no, the show was discontinued. Yeah, because they said the producers, they got some unseemly calls
Poor
about.
Dan Aykroyd. First ghost, now this? Come on.
Well, and another thing is that there's also lots of reports of black-eyed children, that have been seen in the same sort of classic American-styled cars with the Men in Black or accompanying the Men in Black. Black-eyed children show up to your house. They want to be let in. They want a favor. They have to call their parents. They're lost. They're stuck in the rain. They don't have any money. They want to go see a featurette. You know, shoot them. These are.
I mean, don't, because just in case it's not actually children.
I will say because when I was a little kid and I used to like to give a lot of that to my dad and my mom.
Yeah.
You know, I could have been classified as a black-eyed children. I got a little bit of the old,
Yeah.
Dad picked me out on the cobbles for a straightener and every now and again.
Certainly.
Which I had coming. But the point about it is that the black-eyed children, they show up, they ask for something, they inquire, they are let in your home, they are let in a car, and some family member, if not the initial person that they meet, gets ill. They become ill. They suffer some sort of ailment, and it's something really happens. Yeah, and there are some people have ended up dying from it.
Well, supposedly that's what happened with what's the guy's name? The first guy we're talking about,
Bender.
Albert Bender.
Yeah, Bender.
Yeah.
Albert Bender allegedly he started getting sick and whatnot. But to be quite honest with you, I think it's mental sickness.
Well, he wouldn't. If he was in East London, he wouldn't be playing any of that Bender stuff. I'll tell you that right now.
I think it was a case of the weakness.
So, what do we think? Grimmhauser, Michaela? True tale or festering fable? Men in Black. True tale or festering fable?
True tale, but only because I think Albert didn't have the stones to just say, guys, I'm gonna tell you about those aliens anyway. I'm not scared. I don't care about your solenoid. I don't care about the Nostromo. I don't care about the White House. Aliens are real.
Aliens are real. They're real. They're real.
The shaking finger.
Yes.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. True tale or festering
me
fable,
speak into
Michaela.
your mic.
What say you?
I'm gonna try not to snuggle too much, but I'm
Okay.
speaking into his mic.
Okay.
So I think true tale, but I think that the Men in Black are working with the government. I don't think that they're paranormal or alien-esque. I do think they work with the government, and I think in the case of Bender, I think in the case of Harold Dahl, which no one talks about for some reason. The incident, by the way, I realized I didn't say, it was the Maury Island incident. If you want to look into that yourself. Interesting, okay? A lot of weird stuff happens in Washington State, alien-wise, right? But I do think it's possible he saw some government type of unidentified flying objects. That's what I think. And the fact that one of them was malfunctioning, and that's the whole reason, it burned them and left evidence, I think that is a man-made flaw. I think that it would be pretty rare and crazy if a off-world...
Well, you would say one of the theories is that everyone says, a lot of theorists that are on the more, they say, skeptical side would say, if you have the technology to travel through the cosmos to come to the planet Earth, you reach here and all of a sudden your ship breaks down. What's that all about?
Call AAA?
Well, exactly. But the thing about it is,
The
what
second
happens?
you're on U.S. soil,
But
you need
the problem
insurance.
is, it does not mean that they are prepared, even though they've no doubt researched it, for the atmosphere, for the primitive weapons that might be shot at them. Who knows what happens? Or just the simple fact that you've been in spatial transit, no matter how you folded space and time for that long, and alien or not, you reptilians are getting on each other's nerves, and next thing you know, a fight breaks out on the forward cabin, and next thing you know, spiraling into the ocean.
Maybe they're not as human-like as us, though, and wouldn't get into fights. But I'll say this. For me, Men in Black, true tale, but I don't think that they are otherworldly. I think they're very much human, and I think they're replaced frequently.
Okay, that's interesting. I believe 100% true tale.
I think now, I'm so sorry. I think now in this modern day, Men in Black's little outfits have changed to modernize. Men in Black will now be visiting you in cargo shorts, flip-flops, and a hoodie, okay? And this way they blend in. I think in the 40s and 50s, what did even poor men wear? Suits. So they could blend in a little better with suits.
So basically what Michaela's saying, they're ill-dressed. All right, they're ill-dressed.
Men in
They
flip-flops.
look like they should be at the mall in the food court.
Exactly, so they blended.
Unbelievable. No,
Yes.
No, I'm so sorry, go on.
No. What I was going to say is they also supposedly, as well as the black-eyed children, possess the ability to control thoughts, or at least read thoughts. Not control thoughts, but read thoughts. And if I had ever encountered the Men in Black, I would right now be in front of a galactic tribunal because I'd have some answering to do because some seedy stuff I'm thinking. But the point being is that they are, I believe, 100% either alien human hybrids. I do not think they are human beings from the planet Earth.
We're not talking like in Romulus, okay? It's not that kind of alien human hybrid.
Yeah,
It's less.
exactly.
Oh, really? It's less
That
cool than
was
that.
scary.
Yeah.
And I will actually say, really quick, getting back to Grimmhauser's movie moment, that I loved Prometheus, except for just a few things I would take it out, and I liked what was the one after Prometheus?
Covenant.
I liked Covenant, and I liked Romulus, which I did not think I would like because I don't like movies with a bunch of little kids that I just
Surprising.
don't like. But
It was good.
It was actually pretty good. It was
good.
pretty
Surprising.
good.
I
So,
liked it.
and so what I liked about Romulus is, I will say, is they used that 1980s technology arc with that film, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I didn't even hate the Ash character that was brought back. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But I thought for 2022, 23, when they filmed that they could have done a better job with the CGI on the Ash character. But that's just me. All right, Ray Casper, let's hear your thoughts. Please go, Ray, please. Ray, hello?
Hey, Andreas, zip it for a second, will you? I want to ask the new Sheila a question.
Go ahead, Ray, ask away. She's right here.
So, Monique, how did this Mongolian monkey trick you to ever coming on this crappy show anyway?
Yeah, Ray, I'm standing in for Natasha. She's a news anchor on location right now. She's busy.
Who? Who the hell is that?
Oh,
Never heard of her, sorry.
come on, Ray. You know exactly who Natasha is. What are you saying?
Nope, I never heard of the broad.
Sure.
Petty Officer Second First Class Grimmhauser. When are you gonna take responsibility for the loss of my goddamn leg?
I didn't even know you when that happened, bro. We were out of the service for like 4 years when that happened. Don't blame me for what happened after the fact when you're getting gourds and then losing your leg, man.
Sounds like the same dumb answer you gave when you threw away my special love-filled pumpkin.
It wasn't my fault, man.
If I wasn't on the gift because of you, Grimmhauser, I'd invite Monica over to help me butter my stump.
I'm not, man.
Oh,
What?
oh, you dirty Bangladeshi. Oh,
What the Why does he call you a different ethnicity during every show, man? What is it? Does he know?
I thought you were Russian. I thought you were a Ruski.
What do you think? He's a Rusky. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Of course he's a Rusky, but he's a retard or something.
So this episode of the Erich Andreas Unexplained is brought to you by not Ray's cream, but rather cream of wheat.
Delicious, nutritious, creamy, and dreamy. Cream of wheat. It's sweet.
What the hell is he talking about?
Ray Casper would like to tell you about delicious, wholesome cream of wheat. The warm, silky, smooth texture is just what Grandma ordered. Just look at this old bat. Cream of wheat, brought to you by Nabisco.
So to be honest, I like the old box. It had a more trusting sort of wholesome motif about it without getting too specific on that. I was a fan of the old cream of wheat box. But anyway.
Are you talking about your ex-girlfriend?
Oh,
Not exactly.
Yummy.
Not exactly. So let's do this wrap up here. And so I want to get into this on one of the next episodes about USOs, unidentified submersible objects. And these are the alien craft that are seen coming out of the water, diving into the water, and zero issue with them submerging and unsubmerging, if that's a term, in half a second. You know, it's a very, very fascinating topic. We have a expert in this subject that's going to be coming on the show. Our relative expert is on the show. And he is a Bulgarian national, and he will be speaking about not only the entity of Sarashina, if I'm pronouncing that properly, he will correct me, but also the USOs that live or exist under Lake Baikal, Russia, in Siberia. Our expert will be coming on and discussing this, hopefully in the next few episodes. What, Ray?
Hey, Andreas, for once we agree. I like the old style cream of wheat box too.
Yeah.
he would.
Hey, why don't you ditch all those fancy books you got? Because I know you don't read, dummy. Then maybe later tonight you can send over Monique with 3 quarts of stump butter.
So did you?
He'd prefer a pumpkin.
Did you send him some stump butter?
Yeah, but like, it was supposed to leave me alone. You know, I mean,
Sounds like an admission of guilt.
So it looks like it's like deodorant or something, but it's for your stump.
so yeah, I mean, he always talked about his stumps. I was like, I just looked it up. I bought stump butter. I sent it to him, and then I thought he would leave me alone. I was wrong.
You know, usually I like Ray, but I don't really want to touch his stump, to be honest with you.
I'm not so sure about that. I've just been told that my promises are empty and my blood runs cold. However, I would still like to extend this invitation to like and subscribe. Follow us on Patreon if you could. Just a small, simple viewing of our humble channel is all that's really required. We don't delve too deeply into any of these subjects, and that's just a pretty good excuse for lazy writing and lazy research. And
The best kind.
That's just my game. So, Michaela, Herr Grimmhauser, and Ray Casper, we would love to thank you for joining us.
I'm not thinking here, you no good bastards. You know, you people should be thanking me and my slurpy pumpkin stump, Mongolian.
What's with the Mongolian? All right, so leave in the comments a little comment if you like about do I look Mongolian? I don't know what.
Should we end that squash sexer? Should we end him? Should we?
So I'd like to extend you an appointment for the next episode of the Erich Andreas Unexplained. We will be hopefully releasing this episode by or on Thanksgiving Day. So instead of arguing with your ungrateful family, you can argue with us in the comments, or you can argue with me personally, or Michaela, or Herr Grimmhauser. And thank you so much. As per usual, that same old invitation to like and subscribe. And I offer you 2 thumbs up and the peace out, whatever the hell that means.
You're fired. You're also fired.
You're fired! And we'll see sees that the dad steals the flowers,
Yeah.
right? Some suitor gives Hillary the flowers.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and gives the flowers to his wife. And then Will says, Uncle Phil, you just lied to your woman. And they look at each other for half a second, and Will says, give it away up top. I love it.